to this edition of Sprout Central. I'm Dennis Tynes, I'm your host, and we have an exciting show for you today. We have a big announcement, and we have a great guest. Today we have a chef who started her own business, and she's got some big news for us. Chef Lauren Turner from Makin Groceries is here today. But first, we have a big announcement from corporate for the Sprout assistant, Joey. Welcome to the show, Joey.
Thanks, Dennis. It's good to be here.
So there's some big news. I got this from corporate. They said to give it to you on the show today. It says Joey on the front.
It does say, it says my name, it says corporate. Let's see what,
from corporate.
see what we got here from corporate. Okay. Joey, you are the co-host, corporate.
Okay, so you're the co-host of the show. There you go. We have a co-host, Joseph Simpson.
That's
no
exciting.
longer still the Sprout assistant, but also the co-host of Sprout Central.
Fantastic. There's something else in here too, though. It says courage backwards, though.
Oh, it's a temporary tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't have any tattoos, so this is great. This is.
Well, see, we don't have any sponsors yet.
Right
so
on.
The show's new, and corporate said we can't really afford to pay a show host. Do you think it would take temporary tattoos until you guys can get some sponsors? And I'm like, sure, Joey loves this temporary tattoos. He'll do it.
It's one of my most favorite things in the world is temporary tattoos.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I had a pretty good weekend. You know, I'm carving opals a bunch, getting the business plan put together so that I can get funded here sooner rather than later. It's kind of how I spent my time.
Oh yeah. So you know, last weekend we talked, or last week rather, we talked about the keys to success. We're working on our series on, what are we calling the series?
Turning your passion into your career.
Turning your passion into your career, and we're working on a series right now to help people do that. And we talked about mission statement, we talked about keys to success, and I think you said you were going to write some keys to success over the weekend.
I did. I wrote some keys to success. I have them here. I'll just put that down there. So my keys to success are, and this is one that I wrote because of our last week's segment, proximity to Himalayan Exchange, providing steady foot traffic of artisans and customers. So Himalayan Exchange, in a nutshell, is a store that sells precious, semi-precious and precious gemstones, minerals, crystals, worldly gifts, tapestries, stuff like that.
Right.
And they have a group of people that come in from, I mean, they have lots of traffic from Mobile through Florida come in to get rocks there. So
the rock shop.
The rock shop, exactly.
Okay.
So knowing that I have that steady influx of traffic and putting a store right next to it where artisans can commune and work on their craft and also take commissions from people is going to be one of my keys to success.
Okay. So do you have a couple more?
I have a couple more. I have 4 more. We'll try to make them quick here. Creating a comfortable space conducive to the creative process. So I guess I realize now I forgot to mention, I came up with a name for the place too.
Oh.
Which is big. So it's going to be called Simpson's Smithy and Artisans Guild.
Okay.
So my blacksmith shop, it's a silversmith, goldsmith, metalworking is going to be part of it. But also the Artisans Guild is a really big deal where I want to have artisans coming in and having a space to work and having materials available to them, having steady commissions and a place to sell their work as well. So part of that, creating a comfortable space conducive to the creative process, it's going to be huge. So I got to make sure that I keep it nice and clean. I keep it stocked with all the best tools. Make sure that if it's for pliers for wire making, they're not broken in any way, stuff like that.
Right.
So that's going to be really important. And then another key to success is engaging with the community to ensure interactions remain wholesome and uplifting by resolving any issues before they escalate.
Okay.
So that was something that I got experience in managing the video game lounge that I worked at most recently. It was a more competitive environment, but it was a very communal environment. So having to work with people and making sure that they don't get too in their own heads or with their own egos, makes for interactions that aren't wholesome, interactions that tear people down. So in this space, I want to make sure that all those interactions remain wholesome, they remain uplifting, so that people want to come in and work on their art.
That's very insightful. When you're working with the public, that's really important to think about. How are we going to make sure that everybody that's in there works well together and there aren't any problems? So very insightful keys to success.
So another one is going to be promoting the classes and marketplace, both online and in store, to ensure steady sales. That's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to have a marketplace where the artisans can sell their crafts and stuff like that. We're also going to have classes. So we want to make sure that people know that we have classes, because the teachers won't be there all the time saying, hey, come to class next Tuesday or whatever it might be. So we're going to make sure that the people that come into the store are aware that there are going to be classes there, and also making sure that I push the marketplace online. It's going to be a big thing. So, and then the last key to success I have is ensuring membership packages are enticing enough to drive sales. So
Right.
just got to make sure that the membership packages that I put together are going to be enticing enough to make sure that members want to sign up for it at different levels.
Brilliant, Joey. Those are good keys to success.
Thank you.
And it flows right into what we're going to do next in our little journey here, which is we're going to talk about how to take those keys to success and make them quantifiable by writing objectives. Every business plan needs to have a set of objectives. And Clarence, can we put up the definition for objectives, our objectives slide? Okay, so we don't have that. So the objectives to a business. Let's see if we can just wing this one, okay? Let me try it, okay?
Go for it.
So your objectives need to be something that you write down that can quantify what your keys to success are, what your goals are, and it needs to be sort of specific. For example, and I'll give you a good example. So if you're going to start a restaurant, then you need to have an objective of achieving a certain amount of sales per year, per quarter, or however you're monitoring yourself. So something like writing down your sales goals, a realistic sales goal would be an objective. You know, there could be some other objectives, some of the things that you've mentioned, but it's mostly, it needs to be something that you can quantify.
Right. I do remember part of the slide had to do with being able to track and measure it. So the objective, you need to be able to track and measure it, whatever it is that you set out to do. And then another thing I remember we talked about was that it has to be both realistic and challenging, because you want to make sure that you don't stagnate. So the stuff that you come up with, I think one of the things was, and also making it the intangible goals into something real that you can track and measure. So it all really goes back to, one of the things was about, I think, brand awareness or customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction being something that's fairly intangible. It's an idea. You know, you can't really know for sure. You can see smiles from people that leave, but or scowls, you know, one way or the other. But one of the solutions for that was if customer service is one of the most utmost things that you need to have in your business, and coming up with a survey that allows your customers the opportunity to tell you whether you're doing well or whether you're not doing well is going to be part of your objectives. It's going to be one of your objectives is to have a survey with X amount of positive reviews, and you can also, I guess, put X amount of negative, which would be a much smaller number, a much lower number.
So just including the results of the survey in your business plan in order to quantify your success. So that means, and we've had that case where a big key to success was providing excellent customer service, but an objective was to provide excellent customer service, but there wasn't a way to quantify that. So we did the customer service satisfaction survey and put it into the business plan for that expansion group. So that's keys to success are a really important part of the business plan. Then objectives help quantify those keys to success. So write down your objectives, right? What are your sales goals? How many people do you want to come to your store? How many phone calls do you want? Those are all things that are objectives.
Right, so off the top of my head, I'm thinking for next week's show, if I want to go ahead and start writing some so I can have some for my business, would be, like I said, membership sales, you know, having a certain amount of memberships, because, and retaining a certain amount of memberships, because people might come in and get it or whatever, but if I make the environment wholesome and uplifting enough, which is one of my keys to success, and the package is enticing enough, which is one of my keys to success, then my objective of reaching X amount of memberships by month 1 and X amount of memberships by month 2 will be ways to ensure that I'm achieving those keys to success. Because if I'm not, then I can go back. If so, for example, I say, oh, I want to have 8 members by the end of August, which is when I'm going to open, and I only have 4. Maybe my packages aren't enticing enough. Maybe my community or my space isn't wholesome and uplifting enough. So those will be opportunities for me to go back and relook at what are my keys to success, and am I accomplishing those goals?
Very important point right there, Joey. When you're writing your business plan, you always revisit it. Go back and see, am I reaching my goals? Am I hitting my objectives? Am I achieving my keys to success? And we'll go back to our, back through our business plan all the time. Earlier we were talking about some of Sprout's objectives,
right?
For I guess for this year, and a couple of things we're doing right now. Sprout's objectives for this year. One of the things we want to do is we want to raise $1 million microloan fund and lend the money out to small businesses in the community that need a loan for a new location or for a startup and things like that. So we're raising our own fund, and you can go to sprout.fund if you want to be an investor and find out how to get involved there. So we want to raise a microloan fund. What are some other things that we're trying to do this year, Joey?
One of the things was about funding businesses. I know we wanted to fund 10 businesses this year, and that's realistic, but also challenging because it's almost one a month, so that's a pretty lofty goal for us to achieve. And we can add my business to it, of course, once we get it funded. But that's one of those things that, again, we can go back and look at our keys to success and make sure that if we're successfully achieving those keys to success and we make the progress that we need to on our other objectives, then funding 10 businesses shouldn't be a challenge for us over the course of a year.
Okay, so write down those objectives, make them quantifiable so that you can track your success. Objectives are a way that you can track your success. So we have mission statement, keys to success, and now objectives. So we're on the way to writing a business plan.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I'm getting it through mine. I'm hoping to be to a point where I can get funded real soon here.
All right, well, we got to take a break, and when we're back, we'll be right back with Chef Lauren from Makin Groceries. That's going to be fun.
Edward St. Pé with Nathan Prescott from Law Focus. Hello, Nathan.
Hey.
Law Focus, we have it every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and then again a repeat performance at 6 p.m.
Sure.
So tell us, what is Law Focus all about?
Well, Law Focus is sort of self-explanatory, and it is a show focused on the law, but an ancillary sort of arm to that is that Law Focus involves the law in you. It involves how the law affects your day-to-day life. Through the shows, we've addressed the Landlord-Tenant Act, we've addressed trademarks, copyrights, constitutionality of issues, criminal issues, and even current events that exist in the law with different types of things that come up. So anything that involves the law and affects you is fair game for Law Focus, and we're proud of that. We try to put out new product a good bit.
Well, it's a situation that affects everyone. The law affects everybody, and we're happy to have this program. Thank you for being with us every week on Law Focus. That's Law Focus every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. and again at 6 p.m. on Ocean 7.
Thank you.
Dr. Timmons, tell us about your practice in downtown Ocean Springs.
Well, we've been here since 2006. We're a digital dental practice where we do digital impressions and Invisalign, same-day implant crowns, and guided implant surgery, etc.
So a person can literally come in and have the implants done in one day?
In one day. Sometimes people break a tooth off at the gum line, unfortunately, and we're able to extract that tooth and place the implant and place a crown in 1 2-hour visit.
Okay, what is the contact information? What's the most convenient way for people to reach out and make an appointment and get in contact with your dental clinic?
On Facebook, on our Facebook page, or timmonsfamilydental.com.
Thanks for being with us today on Ocean 7.
Thank you.
Little Market on Belande Street, right off Government Street, downtown Ocean Springs, now offering curbside service deliveries and home deliveries. Call 228-300-4545 or go online at iHeartBagel.com. Sliced deli meats and cheeses from Boar's Head, great freezer meals for easy family dinners, the greatest homemade bagels. 228-300-4545 or iHeartBagel.com. Little Market, Ocean Springs.
Everyone needs some guidance in their investments so they make money with their investments and not lose their money. Money Focus here on Ocean 7, Monday at 10 a.m. and at 6 p.m. The star of the show is Justin O'Keefe. Justin, you've been advising people in the area of finance for 35 to 40 years. Okay, How would you advise someone if they come to you and say, what should I do with my money? I'm getting ready to retire in a few years. I don't want to lose my money. Where would you take it?
Okay, yeah. So it all depends on you know, where the person is at in their risk level. So we don't want to do anything too risky with their money. So we would probably put it with an insurance company or something where they could get a higher rate of return, keep the risk down. So that way, once they retire, they'll have a stream of income to add to their Social Security income. And so that way, they're not living just on Social Security only, because money talks and assets can grow wings and fly.
Okay, that's Money Focus here on Ocean 7. We'll see you at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Mondays.
All right, we're back, and just like we promised, we have Chef Lauren Turner on the set from Makin Groceries. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being here. I know you're busy. You're probably in the middle of doing something right now and took time to come be on the show.
Literally, always making groceries, all the time.
Tell us about Makin Groceries. That's your business.
Yeah, so I started making groceries in August of 2019. Well, I mean, I've been making groceries my whole life, but I started the actual LLC in August of 2019 after ending my 5-year career as an educator. I do plant-based whole food family meal prep, catering. It's just always been a passion of mine to eat more plant-based. I've been plant-based for about 7 years, and that really is what motivated me to start my business, is that I really enjoyed meal prep. I know that sounds crazy. A lot of people don't enjoy that, but it's very cathartic for me, almost like therapeutic. And I would ask my now husband, when I was a teacher, why can't I just meal prep for a living? I'd ask him that like every Sunday, and here we are. It's kind of crazy.
So you were a teacher, and now your passion is your business.
Yes, absolutely. I was extremely unhappy in my career. I really loved the kids, but it was just a really taxing, super difficult career choice. And I've always worked in the restaurant industry. I started, as a salad bar girl at Sicily's when I was 15, and then worked at Chili's, worked at Outback, opened Margaritaville, opened the Hard Rock, and worked at all these different places while I was going through college and to get this degree to become a teacher, right? Thinking that, you have to have a degree and have a real job and all those things, but I definitely still have a real job.
Right.
Very much so a real job. It's just, it's not work every morning,
You get up and do what you love every day,
right,
and what you want to do.
Exactly.
And you're interacting with the people that you want to interact with too. Your customers are awesome.
Yeah, my customers are really, really cool. I'm very fortunate in that sense. I have people that are super laid back and, oh, well, if you can't get my meal prep order tomorrow, like, Thursday's, Friday, whatever, it's fine. So it's really cool. And the support that I've received over, the last few months, just getting open, is really overwhelming and beautiful too.
So you've been kind of in a fight for the last 2 months, really grinding, working hard.
Yeah, it's been super hard. So all the catering events there aren't any because nobody's allowed to socialize or gather. So what I did was, in order to kind of keep my operation up and running, I subleased the Kraken's Kitchen from them while they had to be shut down. They were a gathering space, and unfortunately their business is no longer here because they had to close their doors. But during that time, I just offered curbside and family meal prep and was able to keep myself afloat through doing those things. And I was really surprised at how much it grew in such a short amount of time. And now I'm in a position where I'll be opening the cafe at the Orr O'Keeffe Museum. So
big news.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. Our grand opening is June 18th, a week from today, from 5 to 7. I mean, I'm ready. No, I'm not. Everything's fine. It's not. It'll be fine.
So what are you going to do there?
So I'm going to continue to do my family meal prep, but I'll also be offering vegan and gluten-free, as well as, regular food, grab and go like snacks, salads, hummuses, wraps, bakery items, things like that.
Hey, that vegan and gluten-free, I've had your food. It's absolutely delicious.
Thank
you know,
you.
we had it for Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
yeah.
that was everybody. It was a big hit at Mother's Day at my house.
Yeah, it was super good. I know everybody goes nuts about that French toast souffle. I'm doing that again for my Father's Day brunch, but it will probably be at the museum.
Right.
So you guys be looking out for that menu.
Definitely.
And yeah.
You have a really unique and beautiful menu. I love the way your food looks when we get it. So
Thank you.
Where do these recipes come from?
Mostly, so the recipes from my menu are literally the things that I made for my family when we first became plant-based. Because it was such a challenge. My children are now 12, so 7 years ago, do the math, they were like 5 when I decided to go plant-based, and they're already picky eaters, you know, so I had to create things that my kids would eat. So here we are.
So when you say plant-based, no meat.
No meat.
Just only plants.
Right. So I do occasionally carry seafood and do seafood options, but there's no walkers or flyers in the kitchen at all. And there aren't very many restaurants on the coast that are exclusively meatless, or you know. So it is a concern for some people who are plant-based with cross-contamination and things like that. They're worried going out to eat, like that there's going to be a cross-contamination issue. So, but yeah, so there's that.
Well, the food's absolutely delicious and beautiful too. Clarence, can we put up a couple of pictures and let's talk about some of the items on the menu?
Sure, let's do it.
So we're doing.
Oh, those are tacos.
Oh, the tacos. You have Taco Tuesday?
So yeah, I do Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. So you can come in and get a taco plate, or you can get a family taco kit. It's $35. It comes with 10 handmade corn tortillas and a filling of your choice. And you also get Mexican rice and pinto beans with that, and some fresh guacamole. And what we have here is my Mexican lentil and quinoa. I like to call it La Gringa, because quinoa and lentils, if you don't get it, that's okay. So that's what we have there. And it's one of the favorite tacos because it resembles like what a ground meat taco would feel like in your mouth and taste like in your mouth.
Right, I bet the texture is a lot of what people are concerned about when they're thinking, well, I want some meat with my meal.
Yeah.
They want to just feel that.
They want to feel satiated is the thing. So that's another part of what I do. A lot of my recipes are thoughtfully made, and that I try to get as much nutrient packed into one dish as possible. Like I always call my veggie curry healing, because it probably is. It's full of turmeric and ginger and all these anti-inflammatory and like good things for you, and sweet potatoes and carrots and spinach, and it's literally every vegetable that I carry in the fridge at the shop. So, you know, it's good stuff.
It is. Those things are good for you. The turmeric and especially the ginger. I keep sliced ginger in my water.
Oh yeah, it's super good.
It's very refreshing. And I think when you and I talked about working on your business plan in the very beginning, we talked about how food is the medicine, and then the prescriptions are the cure for the problem. And we talked about how healthy a lot of your food is.
Oh yeah.
What other types of things do you have? You have the tacos, and we have, those are good.
Yeah, so that is my version of a tomato pie. It is a fresh handmade thyme crust with mozzarella, ricotta, and Parmesan cheeses, layered with caramelized onions and dried tomatoes.
Wow. And they're delicious.
It's a fan favorite.
The tomato
faux
pie.
show.
So they can just call you up and order that, right?
Oh, for sure.
Anytime
Yeah, just give me a shout.
Anybody wants a tomato
After
pie.
Thursday, though, please. I have a lot on my plate right now.
Clarence, do we have Lauren's information we can put up for the folks at home in case they want to order a tomato pie or get in on this Taco Tuesday action?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. There's your information.
Yep,
everyone.
and also give me a follow on social media. It's Makin Groceries on Facebook or Makin Groceries Biloxi on Instagram. I post a lot of updates and pictures, and that's the best way to stay informed with what I have going on. Or after Thursday, just come drop by the Orr O'Keefe Museum and come say hi or get a sandwich or whatever.
So you're going to have a permanent cafe
Yep.
inside the Orr O'Keefe Museum from now on. And next Thursday is what? A
Grand opening.
Reopening.
Right. So for members, the grand reopening, they're going to do like a preview on Wednesday, and I think that's 3 to 5 if you're a member. And then for non-members, it's from 5 to 7. And I'm obviously going to provide the food and the beverages, and we're just going to kind of talk about reopening and enjoying our socially distanced presence with people that we care about.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I heard a couple of things about your food too. Are you making a plant-based andouille sausage? Is that a thing?
That is a thing.
What's going on with that?
So, you know, I love like red beans and rice and gumbo and, you know, things like that. And so there is not a plant-based andouille sausage anywhere.
There's not.
It does not exist. There's chorizo, soy rizo, whatever, all those options. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna get some Vital Wheat gluten and go for it. So I did, and it's taken me, I've been making it for years. So it's taken me kind of a while to kind of perfect the recipe, but I think I've got it down pretty good. But that guy goes in my vegan red beans and rice.
So the vegan red beans and rice with the plant-based andouille sausage. Anything else in the test kitchen that you want to tell the folks about?
Oh yeah, I just accidentally made. It was totally. That is how a lot of my recipes are made too. It's like, oh, I wonder if that's gonna. Oh God, that's delicious. You know, it's a vegan, gluten-free jackfruit upside down cake.
Oh.
So with a salted caramel topping. It's really delicious.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super delicious, and I serve that with a coconut whipped cream.
That sounds delicious. Absolutely.
It's ridiculous. Oh, look at that Gentilly cake.
That's the Gentilly cake.
Call Stephanie Poletti for that, actually. I don't want to do those anymore. But come to the cafe for a Gentilly parfait.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is a super beautiful cake, but there are so many talented bakers on the coast that could do that better, and that's their forte. So yeah,
those are good.
Yeah, super good
go.
With a handmade black bean
got
patty,
the great texture, avocado,
and a vegan chipotle aioli.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Super glad you were here.
Yeah, thanks. You guys come and check it out.
Get going at the Orr and tell us kind of what's going on. Come back and see us again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll see you whenever you call me.
Okay. Well, thank you, and
Yeah.
I'll see you next Thursday
Yeah.
at the Orr.
Yep.
For the grand reopening.
Yay, I'm so
excited about that. Look.
Yeah.
All right, that's our show. Be sure to join us next week when we have Frederick Menino from Bienville Oyster Company. We'll see you then.
Paran's Jambalaya Kitchen. Homemade Cajun dishes for takeout, curbside pickup, or home delivery. Call 228-207-2821. We serve offices, we cater, and we serve hungry families. From jambalaya and pastalaya to cracklins and boudin. Especially appealing, our wonderful and legendary pecan pie. That's Paran's. Call 228-207-2821.
Money Focus here on Ocean 7. Justin O'Keefe, financial advisor, over 30 years in the business. If a person comes to you and says, please, I want to make the right investment, not the wrong investment, where do you take them?
Well, safety is the key. Yeah, we want to help them get a better return on their money and don't lose their money. That's the key.
And the older a person is, you got to be careful. You don't want to lose your nest egg.
That's right. The less risk you want to have, the older you get.
Okay, thank you, Justin. That's Money Focus here on Ocean 7, Mondays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m.
You're watching WXVO Television, Ocean 7, Pascagoula, Ocean Springs, Goshen, Mississippi.